Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Live here with Felix and Xeon in
Mario Kart! Okay, that's how I would react if they actually showed some cool stuff. Yeah.
In that order, yes. The Mario Kart Direct has just happened, and suffice it to say, that was one of the directs we've seen this year. We're not going to show our hand.
I'm using tilt controls.
I did actually check when I played the game at the preview event. I couldn't see. I'm using tilt controls, which was disappointing. But we're going to go through what they covered, which wasn't a lot. I was about to say don't want to show my hand too early, but, kind of giving it away. So,
yeah, there was a lot of repeat stuff that we already knew about, which was a shame because, Xeon had talked with, was it Bill Trinan?
Yeah.
So IGN did, and in that interview, they were like,
That's right.
Stay tuned for the Direct.
Did they show us?
There's some new stuff, but the new stuff that I was actually interested in, they kind of glossed over a bit, I feel. We'll get into it. So they opened up with some new, well, not new, courses. A lot of these we already knew, like Mario Bros. Circuit, Crown City, which reminds me of something, and I can't remember what, just the name. Cloud City. That's it. It makes me think of Cloud City from Star Wars, and more specifically, that silly song from the Kinect Star Wars game. Salty Speedway, which was also my nickname at uni. Starview Peak, and Boo Cinema, which showed off Vampire Waluigi, which I thought was fun.
Yes.
Dracula looking.
And it looked like it happened when they drove into a specific section. They got a specific costume, which was really, really cool.
Oh, interesting.
That could have been a transformation. Could have been Kamek. Could have been a meal.
It was
that we
all
didn't
happening
see.
so quick. I've not had the time to watch it again. That was I just remember, oh, that's really cool. And then some returning stages: Toad's Factory, Peach Beach, and Wario's Galleon. Not Wario's Shipyard, which I actually, I didn't know they had different names in the different regions.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I don't remember this one. Where's this one from?
The 3DS, Mario Kart 7.
Oh, okay. That'll be why I didn't remember it, because 7's great. Don't get me wrong, but it was insubstantial in my Mario Kart history, to say the least. Obviously, they showed off other courses as well, but they didn't name any others as far as I'm aware. Which was, it was cool to see, like, Boo Cinema. That's a fun idea, Haunted Cinema. That's fun. Starview Peak is Rosalina's gaff. But...
yeah. Again, we had already seen all these courses from footage of people at the event, or just like sneak peeks. We saw like a brief clip of Boo Cinema. And then they also reiterated that, yes, there's a day-night cycle, which they also talked about in the Treehouse, I feel like. I'd heard about it before, which is really... maybe it was different weather, but I feel like it was also a day-night cycle. But it was confirmed here, which was really cool.
Yeah. They went over some characters, which we don't have to talk about, because there was no one new, I'm fairly certain. They were like, Spike.
And Cow!
Well, yeah, they were like, Cow, and it's like, yeah, we know.
Like, yeah.
Then we got an overview of Grand Prix, Knockout Tour again. This is all stuff we knew. They were like, hey guys, 24 players, and it's like, we knew that from the teaser, from
and it's
the
been
Switch
2 weeks.
2.
We've analyzed everything we can analyze.
Yeah. I don't even think the items there was really anything new.
We saw how you got Rainbow Road, though.
Yes.
That was nice.
And that looks like to be the only unlockable course, because it has... that track actually leaked on a website. Actually, one of the trailers you can see Rainbow Road on the map. So we also know where it is, and it was exactly... so I'm excited to see how that is. A bit disappointed there isn't more maps, because there's like 30 in total with Rainbow Road.
I have a speculative idea, and it is nothing but speculative.
I love speculation.
We know you do, Xeon. That's why we have you on. I don't know why I said that.
I appreciate
the fact that it's like, oh, you might unlock something, and obviously they're talking about Rainbow Road. I'm not suggesting it's anything other than that, but is it just Rainbow Road, or is it going to be like Rainbow World?
Oh.
A bit
like a secret,
a bit like the Star World in Mario World.
People, don't get your hopes up. This is wishful thinking. It is just Rainbow Road. I am so certain about it.
Felix's face go from neutral to, oh, I like that idea.
Especially after coming, we went into this direct expecting to learn a bunch of new stuff.
Yeah.
And then now Felix is like the the pessimistic don't get your hopes up, guys.
It was just not a lot. The knockout tour, they were just, we know about knockout tour items. Yeah. Yes, we know about these items. We saw in all the footage and stuff. We have coin shell, drops coins. We have ice flower, freezes enemies, hammer, throw, Mega Mushroom is making a return. That is really exciting because I love that item. I hope the music is also making a return. Bum, bum, dum, bum, dum, bum.
There was some great music, wasn't there? Like, I noticed the intro to Super Mario Bros. 2, the character select screen. There was some Yoshi's Island music in there as well.
And that is one disappointing thing that they might still be in the game, but I'm really hoping for a radio because there's so many different arrangements of different Mario music. There was at one point where they had music from the battle stage in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The trailer that they showed off Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with, it starts off with that song. It's like, oh my god, I recognize that. There's so much music. There has to be a radio of some sorts when you're driving around in free roam. Because also in the treehouse footage, there's different music, and it doesn't really correlate with where they are. It's kind of just random. Well, maybe you just get random music, but imagine you have the Mario channel, or you have the Boo channel, or you have the Bowser channel.
It would be kind of weird if you're racing, in free roam mode, right? And you are racing through a track, and then the music just suddenly changes, almost like if you're in a theme park and you're walking from section to section. That would be kind of I don't know, just it wouldn't feel good.
I imagine in the races itself, it will do some cool Nintendo are really good at having seamless transitions between songs. I imagine they thought of about that. And support features, smart steering, auto acceleration,
stuff we've seen before.
Oh, that's coming back.
Little. Are you guys getting the wheels?
Maybe for work. Certainly not for personal use. I've got several of the Joy-Con 1 ones in a drawer somewhere.
It's just why would you do? You're putting yourself in a disadvantage with playing like that. Maybe it's more fun.
Yeah, but some people like it, don't they? I mean, people love that on the Wii, and I don't know why. I hated it. I was like, give me a stick.
I thought it was fun, but there it was also made for that, and maybe, I don't know. I'll try it out.
I don't know. It's not for me.
I do like it as an option still, too. But,
it's
go ahead.
fine as an option, but it's just not for me. We got to have another look at food, and it looks like there's a variety of different foods, and apparently they're linked to the costume that you get is linked to what type of food you get. And they were like, eat some sushi and wow, or something like that, in the voiceover fashion that they do. But that's kind of cool. So you presumably maybe different areas where you get food means you get different food, which different outfits, which I think would be really cool. It did look like, though, the character select screen, each outfit was an individual slot, which...
Yes.
Yep.
I mean,
it's messy.
The costumes does come after all the characters. It's not like they kind of go in. It's like you have all the characters and then you have all the costumes, which is just really, really weird. Yeah. I really hope they have a setting where you can toggle it, kind of like in Smash Bros, where you can have echoes, stuff like that. I really like the customization. Because maybe it is cool that you can see all the costumes. But also, a thing I don't understand is apparently not all characters can get costumes. I've not seen costumes for a lot of the enemy characters. Only for the main characters I've seen costumes. And also, if there's 10 costumes, because we saw it's some treehouse footage, you can see an outline of Mario, and then you could see 10 costumes. If each character of the 50 characters has 10 costumes, then we're looking at 500 different, which is just insane. That's way too much.
Yeah, there have to be some sorting options, if so. Because imagine, trying to go and find, Waluigi, but he's in his pizza delivery outfit.
No, exactly. So if each... even if it's not all the enemies, which I'm pretty sure was confirmed, because as some treehouse footage, we had Cow driving into the food item and nothing happened, which is just it just feels really pointless. And also, you're really quickly going to get all these things. So what? The food item just becomes... nothing after a few hours of playing because you've just gone with Mario to the different locations. I don't know. I'm not convinced about it.
I wonder if you have to race through them as then the each character then incentivizing you to play as different characters, and I do kind of like that. And I just want to say I love the ability to just collect stuff. I've always been drawn to that, and whenever a game just gives you everything from the start, I'm less interested in just playing the game for fun and learning the mechanics. So I'm glad that they have this in there. I think the costumes alone is gonna just push me to want to play Mario Kart more. So
don't get me wrong. I really like the
that.
customers idea. I love that we can be able to differentiate it. Like if multiple people want to play as Luigi, you have different versions of Luigi.
Yeah.
And as you say, it incentivizes you to play different characters. Because characters, they also confirmed when choosing the characters that yes, each character have different like stats, which we didn't know about before. Because people are like, oh, since there's so many characters, do they all just drive the same? Yeah, I wanted more
is that
answers.
to costumes as well?
I imagine that Luigi and another version of Luigi have the same stats.
Yeah.
It's what I mean is just like maybe you really like driving heavies, but you really want all the costumes, so you do also have to drive as Toad to get all the cool costumes.
I see what you mean.
Like
yeah.
But I just wanted more answers about like, okay, can all characters get costumes, and what happens once you like? I don't know. This is this type of stuff that we'll know when we have the game in our hands.
Yeah. Doesn't make it any easier though.
Even like me, I still don't have a pre-order yet, but definitely a discussion for a different day.
Why not?
Yeah.
You know, just something about tariffs.
Let's talk about new techniques in because they showcase some of that. The charge jump, which they haven't showcased that much. We did know it was in here, but it's really cool. This is going to be like what everyone is going to do, I presume. Because why wouldn't you do it? It's just free speed. Right?
It's not. I was about to say it's not something that you can like really easily do constantly and repeatedly. I mean, you can, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't say that it's super easy to do so. You've got to get your timing right, because if you end up doing it too late, you go into a jump. This is from my time playing the game. You do a jump, and then obviously there's you've got that air time where you can't really control anything, and if you're coming up to a corner and you do that too late, but you really wanted that boost, you could put yourself at a real disadvantage. So I do think there's plenty of skill involved in that, which I'm pleased about.
Oh, it's going to be great. And driving on walls. Did you see on Sky High Sunday, they just jump and then they drive on like the inside instead of falling off? That was so cool. There's going to be some crazy like strategies for online play.
People are going to
some
break
fun, like,
this
shortcuts.
game. Absolutely going to break it.
Can't wait.
I don't know if you had these thoughts, Alex, but I at one point was like, this is just a Sonic game now because of the way that you're running on walls and grinding on rails.
It's taking a lot of inspiration, actually, isn't it? And also transforming vehicles, you know.
Is Mario Kart a platformer now? Is it because you're jumping, essentially?
I mean, you've been jumping for years on Mario Kart, haven't you?
Sure.
If Blaster Master Zero is a platformer, this is a platformer. We also got to see Rewind, which is a new feature.
Oh, yeah.
And when they first showed it, I was like, oh, I'm not sure. But then it's like, reverse your movement, but everyone else continues as it is. And it's like, okay, I'm actually on board with that, because I imagine a lot of the time, like, if you fall off the edge, you know, sort of you could rewind and go back to where you were, but you run the risk of going back not far enough and then just falling off again. I've done that enough times.
Right. There was some tiny text that said this is only in single player, and I can't remember. There was something else, but it's not like... I'm pretty sure it wasn't online play. It's only like, let's say you're practicing yourself and, you really want to get this right, then it's a really, really nice feature. I mean, it's very much like Forza.
Yeah.
You can just rewind.
That's the kind of detail they should mention in a direct, that it's only in single player. Right?
They did! You just had to read it. You
sure, they should mention it out loud.
Yeah, using their mouth words.
I did get to use that in the demo that I played. And it was during the it was in the lobby when you were like waiting for the knockout.
Oh,
tour.
yeah.
But I don't remember ever getting to use it again. Do you remember like you getting to trigger that when you were playing?
Didn't even know it was a thing until this direct, I must admit. We also got to see time trials though. It's not a big surprise that it's here, but it's nice to know it's here, you know? It'd be awful if it wasn't.
And then Versus Race, which that is actually really exciting.
Versus Race is actually, I did say for, I can't remember what it was, but I was like, I really hope there's like a classic cup mode. And this is kind of it, you know? It's not exactly the same, but you can just race around a course 3 times, just like the good old days, and you can do like your own like custom tours as well. I'm curious to know if there's like an upper limit, or if you can do like a tour of the whole island, like a marathon tour. How cool would that be?
Yeah, and do you set up the tour beforehand, or do you like, because the way I understand it is that you select one course and then you select the next one, and then that race is just one race where you race from one to the other and then do a lap in the end.
Again, they could have been clearer. But
yeah, I just want the classic. I'm not too I don't need to drive from one track to the other because it looks so straight. I don't know. But we'll see. I'm really glad that
it's actually I do think it's more interesting when you're playing than we had this discussion yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? It's more interesting when you're playing it because there are straights, but then you're also feeling this immense pressure while you're driving down them.
Sure.
And, so you got people throwing off items, and there's not loads of items, so you're also being conservative about, do I hold on to the items? Do I try and defend? Do I try and attack, get further down the pack? It's more interesting than you would immediately think.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to try it out and see how it all feels. And it was really cool that they also said, you can make routes that aren't in Knockout Tour or the Grand Prix. I mean, there's so many different routes because, oh my god, Was there anything else in the versus race?
Not really, but we did have battle mode, didn't we? Which I like the look of, but I can't deny it did look a little bit more Mario Kart 8 not deluxe battle mode than I anticipated. I mean,
some of them look better than others. There was this lava one, which did just look like a battle stage.
That looked a lot like Big Donut. We all love Big Donut.
But so it's really because I remember seeing it on the map, and that was not a stage. It's like, wait, is this a battle stage? So it is, which is really cool. I imagine there's going to be a lot of different ones. Personally, I never play battle mode. It's just never. It's fun to try it a few times, but I don't really do it. But it's really nice that it is here, and it looks proper. And you have Coin Runners and Balloon Battle, which are the two are really fun.
Oh, I like Shine Thief as well.
It was okay. There was a lot of cool stuff in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. There was also the one where there's police and thieves, kind of. Where you drive around with piranha plants.
That was fun.
Those aren't making a return, so that's a shame.
Well, they haven't confirmed it's not in the game,
True.
Fair.
It's...
But I have also not confirmed they are in the game.
Absolutely. It would be better if they said and more or something,
Yeah, which they didn't. Which leads me to believe that they aren't.
Well, and you both bring up a good point though, that this direct would have been the place to show off more cool things that they haven't talked about already, or that the press hasn't talked about, or people that have gone to the experiences, and they didn't do that. They kind of, it's almost like they just did a big roundup of. It's like they did their own everything we know about Mario Kart World video.
And didn't include everything that we know.
Sure.
Hold on. There's one thing that isn't in the notes, but it's different teams.
Oh, yeah. Versus Race has teams,
Exactly, because I really want to talk about that. That sounds awesome. Imagine tournaments where you can you make different teams. I don't know if you need to be exactly... Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe you're meeting 8 people together and you do 2-2-2-2, and then you, of course, also have some... But yeah, I really like the look of 4 different teams. Team Battle, at least when I was a kid, I played a lot of Team Battle, because then you could play together, which is always very fun. You try and just... Because some people aren't that competitive, or it's just not fun to... When you want to have a nice evening, it's just... Yeah, you just want to have a nice cooperative experience. The team mode is really, really nice.
Yeah. I think that's been one of my biggest issues with just Mario Kart 8 is I guess I could always just go in and do normal 2-person teams, but it'd be nice to just get a couple pals together and race against just this large group of people. I'm looking forward to
generally
that.
It's really fun. So yeah. Next thing though is very exciting.
It is free roam, which we knew about, obviously.
Freaking mission mode is back, Alex. Oh my god! That got the biggest reaction out of me. If anyone of you see the reaction,
I was kind of worried that they just were going to be we wanted missions, but we didn't have time to implement them. We're really sorry, gang.
No,
but they did. They really did.
Definitely, because you see them driving around, and I remember we were talking, and we were saying, there must be something more to do. And there's missions, P-switch. Well, the P-switch was one of the missions. I also had ones where we just drive through. It looked very much just like the DES mission mode put into the overworld, which is extremely nice. I hope there's boss fights. Oh my god. There must be boss fights then, if they do that.
They also, something that they didn't, just while I think of it, they didn't really acknowledge that much the big vehicles you can go into. They showed them off a few times, and they're just sort of, blast through and go in a big vehicle. And it's like, my friend, what is it? Tell me.
What do you mean? You're just a semi-truck now? Like, what? How long does it last? Do you destroy other vehicles? Do the semis have costumes? What is this all? Could you just do a race of just semis? Probably not, but.
Oh, I can already imagine the video. Find all the hidden coins. Oh, it's going to take a million years to make.
Honestly, the mission mode is what I'm most excited about as well.
Yeah.
Or even the fact that missions are there. I love the idea of like jumping into the world and like
trying to find all the secrets.
Seeing you both on the map or something, and like one of you you're like, I've been trying to get this coin for the past 2 hours, and because I hope there are difficult missions too. I don't want it to be this sort of thing where you drive around the map, 10 hours later you've done everything. I hope there's going to be some like longevity to these missions too.
We don't want them to be purely Korok seeds.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Although there are some Korok seeds that are far more interesting than others. So that's maybe not a great example.
They should have showed off maybe a little bit more. I mean, I'm also I'm happy if there is a lot more and they didn't show it off, because then it leaves it for us to discover. But still, it could also mean that, okay, you collect coins and there's these arcs and that's it, and that's why they didn't show. I'm excited to find out more.
Yeah.
And,
I missed, what purpose do the coins and like all the missions?
They didn't say.
I think it's just to be like, I've collected all the coins, just like Korok. I mean, Korok seeds does have a purpose to an extent. Like you reach a certain point and then they don't have a purpose anymore because there's so many of them.
Sure.
But they finished up showing multiplayer.
Yes.
Which
Mario Kart game?
Four player.
Yeah,
the
4
30
players
FPS we've seen,
split screen.
I know. I can see why they haven't shown that off at all so far. That is really disappointing, at least to me, because it is really a big drop when you're at least playing 8 deluxe and suddenly you play 4 people and it's just like the frame rate is just cut in half, or maybe even more if you can play 120 frames Mario Kart and it just gets down to 30.
Yeah, because we still don't know if Mario Kart World supports 120. Is that right? Or have they confirmed that yet?
I don't think they've confirmed it, and even in theory, it could be a separate option, like a performance mode, and they may not have shown it off yet. I mean, correct us in the comments if people do have hard evidence, but I'm more than ever so skeptical to go off just the word of people online, because it's all too easy to go on the internet and lie, I'm afraid to say.
It's easy to do that? Go on the internet and tell lies?
Or rather, just misinterpret, and that sort of thing can get spread. I'm not suggesting malice necessarily, but things can go wrong very easily. It's no one's fault, it's someone's fault. But, it is what it is,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think, if it has to be 30 frames a second for 4-player split screen, I still think it's going to be fine. It's Mario Kart, If you're going to get sweaty, you're going to be doing it single player anyway,
Yeah, definitely. And 2 players still proper.
Yeah.
One thing I'm a bit local wireless is 8 consoles max.
Yeah.
Because that's not 24 players if you can do 2 players per console. That's only 16.
No, and when I was at the when I played the game at a preview event, we did knockout with 24 players.
Yeah.
And they were, so I can only imagine that there's also like, how Splatoon has a hidden LAN mode? Where you go in, you got to press a certain button combination, and you go to
Mario Kart has that as well.
Yeah. So I imagine it's probably going to be that. I hope it's not hidden, although at the same time I do understand there are going to be very few people who want to get together with, up to 23 other consoles. Maybe you can do, sort of just have 12 consoles and, have 2 people on a console. But regardless, it is... sort of if you're going to that much effort, you're going to be researching how to do it, and there'll be an article online telling you how to do it.
Yeah,
probably on NintendoLife.com.
Yes.
But that was it, really, wasn't it? We've talked longer than the Direct was by some margin, which admittedly, when you're analysing something that happens,
definitely
that's what happens.
Yeah, and there's 3 of us, right? So we all have things to say, but you're right.
One thing that they very, very briefly went over was the online, and the point system is back, and you're now starting with 3,000 instead of 1,000, which I'd hope that they had revamped the system. It was okay. But we'll see if there's more things. I need to go back and analyze the footage a little bit more. Which, if you enjoyed this chat, there will be everything new we know. Proper analysis mode. This was just overall thoughts. So, guys, what did you all think of the Direct? Alex?
I thought it was fine. I liked some of the new stuff they showed off, but I do also feel like this could have been an email. I'd give it a 6 out of 10 if I'm feeling generous.
I think if I were also just a casual Nintendo gamer, I think I would have had a good time with this Direct, but I think it almost felt a little like misleading for Treehouse and Bill to say like, stay tuned for the Direct to see all sorts of other stuff that we haven't talked about yet. And I know I'm paraphrasing a little, but
yeah.
But that kind of set up these like false expectations. So I guess I want to give it a 5, because I think it didn't waste my time. It was fun. I enjoyed the Direct, but I just it was really hoping for more. So a 5 out of 10.
What about you? Yeah. What about you, Felix?
So I'm really excited to go back and watch more. There was a lot of stuff they showed off, like not new stages, but just more footage, and I'm really excited to just look at that. And mission mode is back. The versus race. I don't know. There's also a lot of stuff that leaves me wondering, like, why was this a Direct? Why didn't they just show this off initially? Like, they could have easily just showcased this in the initial Direct, and I guess I get why they would want more people, again, to talk about Mario Kart, but it also leaves a bit of a sour taste in your mouth that, that was it? That 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And most of the stuff we already knew about and the stuff we did want to know more about, you kind of just glossed over it. For me, really online, they just really glossed over how online works. I just want to know more. So I think I will give it a 5 as well.
I think that's fair. I suppose I went in with, I wouldn't say lower expectations, but I went in with...
My expectations were really high.
Yeah, mine were just like, I'll see what they say. I'm sure there'll be plenty, and there wasn't plenty, but there was... I wouldn't say I was disappointed. Like, I wouldn't say it was a bad Direct, but it wasn't amazing, was it? It wasn't great.
But this chat was great. It was and also we got to live stream, me and Cian live stream the reaction, and that was really, really fun. That is up. You can go watch it after this chat.
Go and watch it, dudes.
Dudettes.
And dudettes. I include dudettes as dudes.
And Navi, you gonna go on with the stream too?
Hello. Little wuggle. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you thought of the Direct with a comment down below. But for now, why don't you drive over to that subscribe button? It's just over that hill. There'll be an arch you can drive through and ping! Mission mode. Subscribe to Nintendo Life.
Yeah, check. Make sure. Are you subscribed? Are you actually? Do you know? Check.
And be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.